today. Hey, have you ever been stuck in the cycle of shame? Lord knows I have. Oh, wow. Have I ever been through like bullied by shame? Have you ever been bullied by shame? I grew up on welfare in a violently abusive, drug-infested home, bullied by who I thought was my father. Turns out he was the man who adopted me. I was molested by the same man. In fact, I was molested from the time I was 3 until I was 16, first with a stranger picked me up out of an alley while I was praying at 3 years old, my cousin who then picked it up at 7, and then the man who I thought was my father when I was 13 years old. I was bullied by the shame of that I was worthless. I was bullied by the shame that I would never amount to anything. The shame that haunted me all the time, and it caused me to try to prove my existence, prove that I had some kind of value. And even though I ended up homeless due to, again, choices that I made in response to my past, those choices resulted in drugs, alcohol, sex with anybody that would have me. I was this close from entering the porn industry and this close to becoming a prostitute for cocaine. As I offered my body as a homeless woman, I offered my body to my coworkers as I worked in a bar for another line of cocaine. Filled with shame. While I was homeless, I was also raped and gang raped. Horrific past that from time to time I would be so ashamed of. How could I ever be used by my God? How could I ever do something great with my life? How could I ever live a different life than what I had known by the time I was 21? I'm here to tell you that shame was kicked in the gut. It was given a right cross. It was kicked in the groin. I took shame and I flipped it. I stabbed it, and I said, I'm done with you. At 21 and homeless, I started a business from the trunk of my car in a payphone booth and made my first million in 2 years by the time I was 23. Today, with the same business, multi-millionaire, I do not take a salary. My salary is written for freeing kids out of the sex trade, feeding widows and orphans, and building houses for the extreme poor. The profits from our business, after our staff gets their fair share and the government gets their not fair share, after the future is taken care of to secure the staff, all the rest goes to the extreme poor. In fact, every single time any sale comes in through our business, 10% of the gross of that product, if it's a $15 book, 10%, $1.50 goes straight into an account to take care of the poor. If it's $100, $15 goes right away, not after taxes, not after the staff is paid. No, it's about 30% of our net profit. And then as the year progresses, then we also give much, much more. In fact, last year, over $1 million was given from DannyJohnson.com that helped to change the lives of $2,182,000. Because I made the choice that shame was not going to control my life anymore. And I'm going to ask you something. Are you being controlled by shame? Do you realize that shame could be the big bully that is talking to you every single day? Not the physical one. You don't even need a physical one to bully you. You've got the one inside your head. You've got the messenger called shame, who's reminding you of your past. Today, I'm a mother of 5 and a grandmother of 8, and I've been married to the same man, sleeping with the same man, and making babies with the same man for 28 years this month. In fact, in the next couple of days. How? Because as soon as I realized that shame was trying to take out my life, as soon as I realized that shame, along with his friend named guilt, that shame and guilt, the two buddies that have kept most people stuck in the same rut that they're in right now. Do you know that it is shame that causes you to come up with excuses as to why you cannot succeed? Why you can't have love? It's shame, along with his friend guilt, are the reasons why you're not the parent you know you should be. It's shame and guilt is the reason why your bank account is overdrawn, paying extra fees for overdrawing it, and have a crazy amount of debt. You see, shame and guilt, they like to entice you, seduce you off into the mall, or maybe just online. to try to cover up the pain in which they are speaking to you on a daily basis. And you try to cover up with what? Shopping, new clothes, a new pair of shoes. You're looking for something to inspire you, to make you feel better, to get out from under the pain of shame. It's almost as though Shane has you on the floor with his knee in your throat, pinning you down with his hands, while guilt is holding your feet down. You are surrounded by all the pain of the past, the things you've touched and said, the places you've gone to and who with, the nightmares you've had because of the burden that you've added to your life. You see, shame is the one that is leading you to a life of mediocrity. His friend guilt is helping you get to mediocrity even slower. Oh, you might think that you're racing right along just fine with the help of your good friend, Prozac, the help of your other good friend, wine, vodka, tequila, the help of another good friend, your porn addiction, or your work addiction. You see, shame has drawn you into working 90 hours a week, 50, 60 hours a week, 100 hours a week. Oh, but you're like, I'm not working that much. Have you ever added up how many hours you're thinking about your business or thinking about your career? Have you ever added it up? Oh, you see, shame keeps your mind really, really busy. Keeps you so busy that then guilt comes and kicks you in the stomach, knocks your two front teeth out with, you loser. When was the last time you spent time with your spouse? When was the last time you were with your wife? Yeah, she's mad at you. She can't stand you. You're good for nothing. You're such a hopeless case. Yeah, they're not going to love you. Those kids, you can forget about it. Oh, and that next promotion that you're going for? Yeah. You think that's going to fix it all? Nope, it ain't. You're just a loser, just like you always thought you were. Yeah, those words, guilt and shame. Have you ever entertained them? I have one thing for you today. There has to come a time where you have to make a decision to do with not only what I've done, but with what thousands of our clients have done. As they have learned powerful, time-tested, and I'm talking time like thousands of years time-tested, principles, skill sets, to where they're no longer being controlled by guilt or shame, no longer being led by their excuses, which is nothing but a well-planned lie, no longer being led by the feelings that shame and guilt produce, whether it's the feeling of, I've got to overproduce so that I can earn the right to feeling worthy, or causes you to sit down and be super lazy, watching your favorite Amazon Prime show or your favorite Netflix series. All the while, there they are, sitting down with you while you're watching all of that stuff, letting your life just slip away moment by moment, second by second. One day turns into the next and it's the same Pete and repeat, Pete and repeat, Pete and repeat. Every day it's all the same stuff. But yet there's something crying out of you, saying there has to be more to this life than what I'm living. There has to be more to this marriage than the way I'm living it. There has to be more to being a parent than the way I'm doing it. This is not what I've signed up for. There has to be more to life than going to work to pay my bills. There has to be more to life than slugging through this thing called life and seemingly not getting ahead. Feeling like I'm about to get ahead, but then I'm just still not getting ahead. Friend, how long do you want to live this way? The choice is yours. You can do what our clients have done. They've gone to DaniJohnson.com. That's one N and an I, DANI, Johnson.com. They registered for First Steps to Success, like the one that's taking place next week, the 28th through the 30th. It's taking place. It's waiting for you. It's ready for you. It's time. It's time. June 28th through the 30th. Not next week, next month. Listen to me. Get registered right now. Oh, well, what is it? It's 3 days of a boot camp. It's going to clean out that mind of yours that's beating you up. It's going to show you the things that have been stopping you, and it's going to show you the real path for success. It's going to show you, I'm going to show you personally, myself. I'm going to take you by the hand. I'm going to show you exactly how I went from that pathetic person that was doing drugs, that was abusing alcohol and abusing my body and giving myself to everything that was destructive. And within my first year, made $250,000. I'm going to show you the same exact principles that you can apply in your current job or in your current business. And you're going to see opportunities that you had not ever seen before. You're actually going to take some things called pressure that are stressing you out off of your life, and you're going to see a really clear path. I'm also going to show you how we learned how to take the money that we were making and to make it grow for us. How we've made tens of millions of dollars through learning the principles that we have been practicing, that, me and my husband, 2 kids who barely have a high school education, who grew up poor, who grew up on welfare. He grew up with a single mom in an abusive situation with the stepfathers and the many other fathers that walked into his life. And I grew up in a violently abusive home. So how in the world do you take kids like us and you put them in a situation, not because we married the right people, because we didn't marry the right people. In fact, there were so many times where we knew we married the wrong person, but we became the right person through carefully uncovering time-tested principles that have worked for thousands of years. And these principles have brought forth a hot marriage, a passionate marriage with harmony and peace, being able to communicate with each other without screaming and fighting anymore. But instead, yes, there's times where we get a little upset with each other, but we used to have tsunamis in our marriage every single week. We haven't had one in over, it's almost 2 years now. More than 2 years. It's actually 4 years now. It's been almost 2,000 days. So whatever that turns into, we're coming up on 2,000 days, somewhere in that number. So friend, how long do you want to stay on that mediocre path, being beaten up by guilt and shame? Do what our clients have done. Get to First Step Success, June 28th through the 30th. It's 100% money back guaranteed. If you go, and after those 3 days, 30 days from that date, that if you have not seen more money in your bank account, if you have not seen a way and implemented tools to grow in your current work life, to grab more and prosper more in your current work life, and to have more fulfillment in your current work life, if you did not find a way and didn't implement a way that improves the marriage or improves you as a parent or improves you as a person in general, if in 30 days you have not had some kind of proof that what you learned in those 3 days was real, you call our office and you'll get 100% of your money back. That's how much we know and believe that what we teach works. We get 5 stars from 90% of all of our participants that go through First Steps to Success. So you cannot lose anything but your current life, your current boring marriage, your current average marriage. You can't lose anything other than your current excuses. The only thing you're going to have to leave behind is your old bad self. The thing that you're going to gain is a life of freedom. So if you're that person who's frustrated, but you're teachable, and you're hungry, and you're ready, and you must have more out of life, then I will see you at First Steps to Success, where you're going to punch shame in the face. You're going to kick guilt in the groin, and you are going to establish for yourself with absolute clarity a simple path to change the finances, the work life, the married life, the parenting life, and the internal you life. Get ready, because your new story is just about to be written by you. So I'll see you in just a few weeks, June 28th through the 30th. Go ahead, click add to cart. But I don't have the money. Quit saying that. Quit doing that to yourself. Quit holding yourself back. Quit allowing shame to tell you you don't have the money because of all your debt. Tell shame to shut up and flip shame upside down and say, I'm going to find the money because I'm going to learn how to defeat you forever. And I'm going to learn how to defeat you forever at First Steps to Success. But what will people think? What will my husband say? I don't know. All I know is that if you do what Joan did, Joan went to First Steps to Success. And she paid off $20,000 worth of debt in 2 years. Blessed her husband. Her husband said, keep going, keep going. It improved their marriage. It put a smile on her face. It caused her to rise up and step up and do something of purpose for her life. So do you want your spouse to be singing praises to your name because of the great things in which you've learned how to do that actually really matter? Then don't use your spouse as an excuse. Don't allow shame and fear to bring their other friend shame and guilt bring their other friend called fear. It's time to walk out of that, and it's time to take steps in the right direction. And it's also time for you to help some other people to do the same thing. So I can't wait to see you June 28th. First Steps to Success from Dani, DANI, Johnson.com. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.